The ISL has been an extremely positive addition to the swimming world over its first 2 seasons, and now it's heading into its third. Over its 3-year debut, it's been a gateway to many new breakout stars in the swimming world. It even managed to bring Natalie Coughlin out of retirement for a few races in its first season. The league has been a mostly positive addition to the swimming world. Vendors and athletes not getting paid, I don't know anything about that. However, in its Season 1 debut, the ISL featured just 8 teams. Energy Standard, Cali Condors, LA Current, DC Trident, New York Breakers, London Roar, and the Aqua Centurions made up the original roster. Each team is allowed to bring in 32 athletes. At each meet, however, 28 athletes can compete. 12 athletes for men and women, plus 2 more relay-only swimmers. The initial launch of the ISL was planned for December 2018, with an inaugural event called Energy for Swim. However, FINA threatened competition bans for athletes who took part in any competition related to the ISL. However, athletes like Adam Peaty and Katinka Hosu called FINA's bluff. If FINA banned all of the top athletes in the world, they would lose an extraordinary amount of revenue. In the end, FINA relented, but not without the petty decision to announce the FINA Championship Series, a clear worse copy of the ISL, which the top 4 athletes in the world would compete in races for cash prizes. Each ISL match operates on a simple points scale. 4 points are awarded to the first place team in each competition, with 3 for second, 2 for third, and 1 for fourth. Each match takes place over 2 days and runs for 2 hours a day. Some notable names heading up ISL teams in its opening season include Jason Lezak and Lenny Kraselberg, managing the Cali Condors and the LA Current. Season 1 featured a regular season followed by 2 derbies, American and European. The teams with the most overall points following all of these matches would advance to the Las Vegas final. In said final, one world record was broken, and another world record was broken during a regular match in season. World champion Daya Seto broke Ryan Lochte's long-standing world record in the 400 IM, and Minna Atherton from Australia broke the world record in the women's 100 backstroke, and both records actually still stand today. With its first season coming to a close, the ISL proved swimming could be extremely fun and engaging to casual fans even in non-Olympic years. Energy Standard, boosted by Seto's world record and featuring a loaded team led by Sjöström and Leclos, won the championship final handily.
In 2020, the landscape of sport has looked dramatically different. But tonight, the International Swimming League invites the world to dive back in. For these world-class athletes, the pool is a sacred spot. It's where grit and determination meets passion. It's about pushing the body to new limits. And above all else, it's about speed.
This is going to be who can dig the deepest. What a race.
That is a new world record! There are more teams, more events. The superstars are ready.
Wow, what a finish.
Welcome to ISL 2020.
In Season 2, the ISL grew to 10 overall teams. With the inclusion of the Tokyo Frog Kings and the Toronto Titans, the league was proving itself to be a great opportunity for world swimmers. Season 2 also featured a massive licensing deal for the league with CBS. The introduction of the jackpot system provided some initial confusion, but we'll talk about that later. Let's say Caleb Dressel's competing in the 100 fly. Somehow, this relatively unknown swimmer manages to eke out a win just barely. 8th place finishes exactly 2.0 seconds behind Dressel. That swimmer's points are now jackpotted and go to Dressel. Each event has a cutoff time, and athletes slower than said cutoff time have their points jackpotted to the first place swimmer. Season 2 was a huge expansion on Season 1, and the inclusion of 2 new teams helped bolster the competitive edge that the league already had. Multiple new world records were set in Season 2, with Caleb Dressel being responsible for 2 of them, in the 50 freestyle and the 100 butterfly. The ISL proved gateway for many athletes to emerge as world-class contenders. Beryl Gostadello and Shoban Hahi, I am so sorry if I mispronounced those. Please don't come after me. I am not good with the names. I tried my best. But they both had major breakout seasons in 2020, setting ISL records in multiple events apiece. Veterans as well were able to breathe new life into their swimming. Tom Shields was a powerhouse in butterfly, winning all of the distances multiple times over Season 2. He even set a new American record in the 200, and nearly broke the world record, but he missed out because a guy named Caleb Dressel happened to be faster. Shields would later go on to make his second Olympic team, and win a gold medal on the 4x100 medley relay. For more about Shields, check out my interview with him in the description below. The Cali Condors, Energy Standard, London Roar, and LA Current made up the championship final lineup for a second time in Season 2, but it was the Condors who came away with a decisive victory, in part thanks to Dressel's 2 world records.
Well, 0.63 to 0.75. Much better on the start there for Shields. That could be the factor.
And Shields takes the advantage on the underwater. They turn tight though. But Shields typically is much better underwater. And look at Shields
surges ahead.
Down. Tom Shields holding off Kawamoto. And Shields is the Skins winner. LA. Oh, the one that picks the Skins wins the Skins. And that still proves true with Shields. But there's Tom Shields, scoring 31 points, the match MVP. LA Current finishing second in the team standings. London Roar wins the match.
The Skins races are arguably the most fun new addition to the ISL format. The Skins race consists of 3 rounds of 50s of a stroke. Each team competing sends in 2 athletes. 50s are each swum 3 minutes apart. So imagine that the lactic acid buildup that comes in. You have to really have the endurance to last through 3 rounds. In round 1, 4 athletes are eliminated. Round 2 eliminates a further 2 athletes, setting up a 1v1 duel in the final round. The Skins races offer major points and have often been the match deciders. First place across all 3 Skins rounds can acquire a staggering 32 individual points. So if you are first in round 1, first in round 2, and first in round 3, you acquire 32 individual points. Going into a close race, if a team manages to do that, they can change the tide in their favor considerably. In Season 2, however, the change was made that whichever team won the 4x100 medley relay on day 1 would choose the stroke for the Skins race on day 2. Initially, Skins was swum as just freestyle. Season 3 would further add the change that teams could eliminate 2 strokes from being options, which added a new level of strategy. So second place could choose a stroke to be knocked out, and third place would then be able to choose a stroke to be knocked out. However, if Cali Condors A team and Cali Condors B team got first and second, the third place team would then be the only one that could choose a stroke to be knocked out. While without its massive controversies and missteps, the ISL has proven itself as an intensely entertaining event and a wonderful way to bring swimming into more people's homes and grow the sport in an intensely positive way.
For Manadou into Caleb Dressel in 3. Manadou and Dressel racing against each other for the first time.
2 of the fastest men on the planet. Caleb Dressel, current fastest man on the planet. Manadou, Olympic champion in 2012. This guy's the world record holder, 20.2. This is going to be some fireworks.
Energy Standard a week ago with a 1-2 finish, but Caleb Dressel pops up first. Manadou won this race a week ago by a half second. Caleb Dressel flying out of the turn. Manadou trying to close. It's going to be Dressel getting the win over Manadou, 20-64. Early in the season, folks, a quarter of a second off the world record. That is how quick that race was.
Caleb Dressel racing against the world's best. Manadou, Olympic champion in London, second in Rio, and it was down to the touch. 2064. Folks, that's some fast swimming for October for Caleb Dressel.